I come from one of these large, closely knit, extended families. And this week, some of the discussions we were having were around why some people get trapped in the middle class phenomenon. One of the cousins I was talking to on phone wondered, I work every day, but every month I end up where I started last month, so there doesn't seem to be much progress. And I thought about it, and in my mind, it boils down to your spending habits. It's not, yes, what you make is important, but how you spend what you make is even more important. We had done some research about a year or so ago on the Kenyan middle class and how we spend our money. And we realized there are, I think, 5 key areas we spend our money on. Now, this could liberate us from the rat race, or they could, just make us go deeper into it. Last week I tried to paint a picture of a typical middle class home. And today I wanted us to look at those 5 different areas. The one place that we all spend our money on is what we came to call at Tsavo as meals and bills. So this is your basic needs. This is food, rent, school fees, giving to your parents, charity, money that we really must spend to live. And all of us are able to live in this area. Now, if you have a budget at home, if you and the family have a budget, and you're able to monitor your meals and bills, you realize that there are very many places that you're able to save without really losing the quality of your life. Because food, how much can you really eat? So you can plan your food, your shelter, your clothing, the basic needs. You can plan for that and save quite a bit on that. Number 2 is what we came to call as malls and bars. Now, this is consumerism. Now, we discussed last week that this is the biggest religion in the world. It's the biggest movement in the world. And the malls have become the new cathedrals where everybody goes. And the middle class are the worshippers. They believe and they go and give everything they have. The capitalists, of course, are the high priests of this whole game. And media and upbringing have all conspired to make everybody a consumer. We call it by different names. We call it kupea mwili shukrani. Some say I shop, therefore I am. So we spend so much of what we have on shopping. And most of this shopping that we do, we think it is a need, but it's really a want. You really need all the shoes that you have, all the clothes that you have. You need to go for all the holidays that you go for. You really need to go to the pub every other day. These are wants that we have turned into needs. And a lot of our money goes into this area. So after consumerism, we get to the 3rd area, which we call homes and cars. Now, this is conspicuous consumerism, conspicuous consumption. I think that's the right word. This is where the Kamaus and the Njoroges must see where I live. The car I drive must be seen to be, a good car. And a lot of people spend their money here. So most of us, when you get a job, immediately you get a job, you want a car loan. After a while you start saving for a home loan. And we spend so much money taking such expensive loans that tie us in this area, then you're not free. So you can't quit your job because of these loans, you can't experiment with your life because of these loans, you can't follow your passion, you can't follow your ideas because of these loans. So it becomes an area that, whereas the whole world or your neighbors judge you as successful, deep down inside these are the areas that tie you down. So this is an area that if you really watch, and research has shown us when you're doing research on housing, people pay most for the capacity to boast. People don't pay for the functionality of the house or for the functionality of the car. It is how do my friends see me in this car? How do my friends see me in this home? So that's an area that if you think about and are less emotional about, then you can save a lot of money in this area. The 4th area is the area of investment now. And we come to call it plots and shares. Now, these 2 categories are generally accepted in Kenya as good places to invest. So most people, when they think of investment, I want to go and buy a plot, or I want to buy some shares. Now, inherently, these are good things. I think it's wonderful if you buy shares. It's wonderful if you buy land. It'll appreciate. Now, the issue comes with the middle class mentality. We don't think about cash flow. When you buy land, very few people think, how much is this land able to give me in terms of monthly cash flow every month. People don't think, okay, I'll buy this land and then I can sell it for higher, which is okay. But cash, in investments, cash is king, And when people buy shares, they say, okay, I want to buy these shares, then I'll sell them for this amount. But how much are they giving you every month or every year in terms of dividends? Warren Buffett, the greatest investor of all time, says, if you don't own it for more than 10 years, don't own it for 10 days. So there's no need of buying shares quickly and then selling them. The other problem with the middle class is our source of information. People don't spend time to investigate this land that I want to buy. Why do I want to buy it? Why do I want to own it? Is that place good enough for me? What am I going to do with this land, and how is it going to help me? No, you're in a matatu, you're driving home or to work, and you hear something on the radio, there's land in this area, it's wonderful, and you just go and pay. You don't know where it is, you don't know the qualities of that land, and you don't know the economic capacity of that particular piece of land. People who are investment savvy study companies. They study the fundamentals of companies. You've looked at the company, you've looked at the management, you've looked at its capacity to grow over the next 10, 15 years, and then you invest. But not the middle class. The middle class wait until they start hearing the stories. This is the in thing now, this is the thing to buy, this is the share that is booming. And by the time you're hearing about shares in the bar with your friends, it means those shares are on the rise. And once they're on the rise, it's too expensive because after a while they start going down. The people who are savvy bought them when nobody was talking about them. So whereas it is a good thing to invest, and there's no other way to get to get out of this middle class trap than to invest, you need to educate yourself to invest in things that are able to generate for you monthly cash flow. If it does not generate for you monthly cash flow, if you buy it for the purposes of selling it, then you're on the wrong track. You need to buy it to keep it, but the more you keep it, the more it should be able to gift you. Now, the last category where people spend their money, we can call savings and betting. Now, these are two opposite ends of the people. So there are those who are very scared. They can't invest at all. So they get their money, they put it in the bank, they are scared that if they touch it, it will get finished. So they think it is safe. But there are several things that putting your money and not making it work for you, if you put your money somewhere and it's not working for you, there are several things that are going to happen. Number one, you're going to lose your money to inflation. What a shilling could buy in 1990, it will not buy today. So if you just keep that money there, and you're giving the bank a loan at very little interest. So you're taking your money, which you can invest, giving it to somebody else, whether a bank or an insurance company, to invest and make money out of your own money. So it's not a wise thing to do to just let money keep lying. Money is supposed to be spent and it's supposed to be, revolving. The other group is the exact opposite of the guys who are too scared. Now, these are the greedy, these are the gullible, these are the young. People who put their money in all manner of shiny things. They bet their money in all manner of betting, whatever's. They borrow at ridiculously high interest rates. They invest in things they don't understand, so that any new shiny thing that comes, they are already putting their money there. Now, this is the fastest way of losing your cash. So, meals and bills, malls and bars, homes and cars, plots and shares, saving and betting. These are the 5 areas that people spend their money on. And you want to ask yourself, how is your habit? Do you earn a salary, then spend and hope to save and invest what remains? Or do you get your salary and then invest and then spend what remains? The first method is what everybody does. But if you're doing that, you realize what you save is very little or none at all. But the people who are committed to their journey to financial independence, you get your income, then you invest it. Whatever you remains, then you can save. So if you want to be on fire, if you want to be financially independent and able to retire early, you must have investment at the very center of your life. So that what you get from your income, most of it really should go to investments. And this is a discipline that you can learn. Yeah, some of us have learned to invest up to 70% of our income, and the trick is very simple. That as your income goes up, because you're working hard, you know, when you start investing religiously, you begin to work hard at your place of work. Then as your income goes up, you freeze your standard of living, so that your costs don't go up as your income goes. So you keep your costs more or less, you know, stagnated. Raise your income and just keep investing. As your income goes more, you keep investing more. That way, you're able to get out of this rat race, you're able to get out of the middle class, and you're able to be financially independent. Thank you very much.